Yeah, it's going. Okay. Okay, so these videos are going to be kind of not really scripted or have any overall meaning to them. These are going to be general rants about whatever topic I feel like today. So, topic I feel today, I'll try to make them weekly or daily or whatever the fuck. I don't care. It doesn't matter to you. Main topic is fucking the COVID limits. So like, what I mean by that is all the dumb regulations and rhetoric and all the shit that's been going on about it for the past year and a third or whatever. It's been a fucking nightmare. Schools have been completely shit. The university I go to got completely fucked. Everything's been bad for a bunch of people. Obviously, there's the deaths, and that goes without saying. But I feel the whole thing's been blown out of proportion. From one, if you're somebody at risk, you know you're at risk. Don't go out and do shit. Don't put yourself in those situations. I feel more and more nowadays, people have seen themselves as not having consequences, or everything they do doesn't chalk up to something, you know. If I was, say, asthmatic or had an autoimmune disorder or whatever the case may be, and I was like, you know what's going to be great? I'm going to go to these areas that are, higher likelihood, or I'm going to put myself in situations where I'm more likely to, contract this disease that has a significantly more powerful impact on me than others. I think that's the issue, is we're making it to where people can't make their own decisions and people can't think for themselves and all these other shitty things. And it's just ridiculous. Personal responsibility has kind of gone out of the window in the past couple of years, like past decade or two, where over time we've seen people just go, hey, it's your fault that I did that because you made it capable for me to do that. It's not my fault that I did that, even though that was my personal choice and my own actions. It's your fault for giving me the possibility to do that. I think that's a bad mentality to have, and I think it's been a problem that's been just growing out of control, and especially with COVID, it's gone, nightmarish, to where you have people saying, oh, we need more restrictions here, we need more restrictions here, you have to wear your mask, you have to wear 2 masks, you have to be 6 feet apart, no 3 feet apart, no 5 feet apart. What's the distance? There is no distance, okay? You think a piece of flimsy-ass cloth, no thicker than like a t-shirt, is going to stop, particles from getting through. Yet, for damn well, that if a homie farts in the room, and that thing is strong enough, and usually that's a wet fart, man. If a homie farts in the room, you can smell that shit from 8 feet away. So you're telling me that this disease that's coming out through a pretty violent cough, depending on the individual, or a sneeze, you're telling me, oh, that can't get through this flimsy ass mask, but the particles coming out of my friend's ass, all right, can go through his underwear, his jeans, across 8 feet of room, and then into my nose. All right, you're telling me the disease can't do the same shit? Like, come on, it's honestly ridiculous. I understand that it is a deadly disease if you have pre-existing conditions or are prone to respiratory issues or anything like that. But in of itself, it is akin to a flu. It's something that you can fight off relatively easily so long as you're in good health. If you have a pre-existing condition, yeah, it's going to make it harder. That's already been claimed, okay? But with the whole mask debacle, it was masks are good, masks are bad, masks are good, and now everybody's masking up. Mask mandates per state, they're crazy. I remember last summer, it was great. It was like June or July. I can't remember what it was. I was back from school. hanging out with my friends, and we went to the range. We went to the gun range, and walked in the store, and they had a sign in the front, and it said masks are recommended. You could wear one or not wear one, because that's just what Ohio was. Ohio was, per the store or whatever. And also based on HIPAA and medical requirements, some people, might not be allowed to wear masks or whatever the case may be. And since the store, it's a gun store, they're all about freedoms. They're like, wear one or not. Plus, you're going to be taking one off when you go in the range anyway. Because indoor ranges are some of actually the safest places to be when it comes to COVID, because of the air circulation. They have to circulate all the air to the front of the range. So all any badness is going away from you. So I've never seen people masked up in the range, and I still haven't. You go into the middle area where you make sure your eyes and ears and everything are on. And when I'm in that middle area, I take off my mask, put it in my shirt pocket, and then go into the range. Because if I'm wearing safety glasses and I breathe with the mask on, it's fogging them up. And that's obviously a pain in the ass. Anybody with glasses during this has also been completely screwed. Anybody that has to wear glasses, it's just like, screw you. You can't see now. Like, that's become another thing. So, I understand people's concerns. I get it. People have lost family members due to this disease. People have lost friends. I get it. It's not something to shake a stick at. But it's not something to shut down the entire country, to ruin the government, to all this other bullshit. It's not worth that. Okay, there's a happy medium where you're concerned about it, where if you're at risk, you might wear a mask, or if you're around people who are at risk, you wear a mask. If you go to certain public areas, you might have a mask around the neck, but then when you get within that 6 foot, or you get in with 12 feet or whatever, then you pop it on. Something like that. I've never worn a mask outdoors, other than if I was entering or leaving a building and I just happened to still have it on. Or my hands were full and I already had it on, or something along those lines. I don't get why people are masking outside. To me, it seems kind of ridiculous, especially when you're following social distancing guidelines and you're 7 feet apart from each other. And it's just why are you still masking? I don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense. I understand why, and even if you're inside, you have to deal with the fact that a lot of air inside is circulated. I mean, not to the same degree as say an airplane, which also, air travel, ridiculous. Sure, ticket prices are cheap, but you can't fly anywhere. Travel restrictions are all fucked up. So great, I could fly to fucking Japan for $700 round trip, but I can't fly to Japan because fucking Japan says no. Also, I don't have the time for a vacation. I have to work, but it's just all the shit that's been going on for the past year and a third has been year and a quarter, I guess, has been awful. It's been shit. And I can't stand it. I can't. Luckily, people are, restrictions are getting lifted day by day, especially as the vaccine gets rolled out. Now, I refuse to take the vaccine until it is actually FDA approved. Currently, it's FDA approved for emergency use. It's not fully approved. So people that say it's approved, it's not. Multiple vaccines have been pulled for various reasons, whether that be from blood clotting, miscarriages, death. So if vaccines are getting pulled now and people are saying, it's fine, it's safe, go take them. And I'm seeing these programs to where, if you drive somebody to a vaccine site, we'll give you a $50 gift card. And so the more people you bring, the more money you get. And it's if you have to incentivize people with money to get a vaccine from a select number of vaccine manufacturers, some of which I don't trust, like Pfizer, or some vaccines that are just completely fucked, like Johnson & Johnson, it really brings into question how important this vaccine is. Sure, vaccine for COVID-19 had been developed for years, but one strain mutated, because damn near everybody had COVID. I mean, not really, but like COVID had been around for years and years and years and years before this pandemic, but a new strain created. So it doesn't matter how much research we had towards the COVID-19 vaccine, it's a mutated strain. It is not the same shit. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else I have to say about COVID. I just think it's shit. All the shit that's going on it's ridiculous. It serves no benefit to anyone other than, theoretically those who are at risk. And even to those who are at risk, it's their responsibility to make sure they don't put themselves in situations that would harm themselves. But no, personal responsibility has gone out the window in past years, and it's bad. I don't even know how long this video is going on for. 10 minutes, about 11 minutes. I'm not going to edit these. I don't care to. One, I'm recording on my phone. I don't have to take them from my phone on the computer, go through editing software, re-download that new rendered file and everything like that. Also, the editing software I have, I don't know for what reason. It's Wondershare, I think. I don't know for what reason. But that shit creates files larger than what I put in. It's insane. I'll put in a video file and I'll put in an audio file. I'll trim it down, whatever. I have a 15, 20-minute video. And then the thing is, ginormous. I can't remember the sizes, but it's, huge. I'm I can't upload that to any site. Every site is a 500 meg max or some other bullshit along those lines. And this thing's 1.2 gigs for a video that's 20 minutes long. I'm it's not even 4K. It's 720p with dog shit audio. And yeah, the computer's no. So I'm not even gonna fucking edit. I don't care anymore. Plus, they're rant style videos. It doesn't matter to be edited because the whole point is meant to be a real talk. So you're hearing all this. I don't give a shit if you're hearing it. I guess it helps to the genuineness of the video, but I don't know how genuine you can be nowadays. I mean, the power of the internet and the anonymity that it gives people is insane. I mean, I'm trying to remain anonymous. I don't give my name out, nothing like that. And I've obviously, hat to cover up my hair, glasses to cover up my eyes, so you don't get a full facial structure. I mean, you have a general idea of what I look like, but it's not, it's just, I don't know anymore. I don't. I truly don't. Legislation won't do shit. People in power are in power. Heck, it doesn't even matter if we vote for them. They're going to get elected based on their friends. I mean, the political landscape in the U.S., not to mention other countries, has been dog shit for a while now. One, senators and Congress members should be paid like they used to be, per diem, by the day, by the work done. They're paid an annual salary that is ridiculous. The average American makes about $40,000 some a year. I don't know the exact number, but that's about the median income in the U.S. is about 40 grand. A senator / congressman, they make $130,000 a year. They're meant to be the servants of the people. And yet they make, 3 times as much, roughly. They make 3 times as much as the people they're supposed to be serving. Who the fuck pays a butler more than themselves? Because that's what they are. The senators, the congressmen, our representatives are servants of the people. They're our servants. And who the hell pays their servant 3 times as much as they make? Now you might say, well, you're not really paying that much because, there's 300 million Americans and it's only a small portion of your taxes coming out that are paying them. Just bullshit. I don't care how much of a percentage of my taxes it's taken out to pay them. They shouldn't be making more than me. Okay? Especially when they have all these other aides and assistants and all this other shit that do the majority of their work for them, and they don't have to come into work every single day, and they don't even have to work every single day because there's not a docket every single day. It's utter bullshit that these representatives are making, exorbitant amounts of money, more than the average American, while aiding them almost none at all. It's laughable. It truly is laughable. Another thing, the party system. George Washington said, don't do fucking parties. It only divides us. Jefferson's like, go fuck yourself. Party time. And now, yeah, it has divided us. I mean, you've seen all the horrible rhetoric from both sides of the aisle attacking you, whether you're D or R. And it's just, it's insane. It really is. You can't have an opinion on the internet out anymore without people thinking it has to be politicized. I mean, heck, every single issue in a long while now has been politicized to hell and back. Oh, you want to limit this? Well, that's this party to this party. Oh, you want to do this? That's this party to this party. Oh, you want to do this? That's the party. It's just fucking circle jerking at trying to make everything political, which only does one thing, give the government more power over you, which nobody wants. I don't know why people push for big government. To me, it makes no sense. Because big government means more spending. More spending means higher taxes. Higher taxes means I have less money. Nobody wants less money. Everybody wants more money. I think that's a reasonable assumption to make, right? And if you have higher taxes, you have less take-home pay. And if you have a bigger government, you're going to need to spend more money to maintain and run that bigger government. And so you're going to have more taxes to do it. It's ridiculous. I truly, truly don't understand it. I don't. Every single topic, somebody has a thought, an opinion on. Regardless of what it is, everybody has an opinion on something. Whether it's positive, negative, or even neutral. Everybody has an opinion on something, even if they think they don't. The problem is, some people take those opinions and then say they're political opinions because they identify as a member of a certain political party. They then associate those opinions with their political party. They then spread that message that that opinion should be part of the opinions of the party, and then it becomes that. I don't know why people feel the need to do that, because you could take that opinion, have it not be party-based, and if it's not party-based, then you could get any representative, theoretically, to push it through if you campaign for it enough. And you say it's not part of either party affiliation, it is just a general idea, you're probably more likely to get it through. I genuinely do not understand why people feel the need to place a side on an opinion. Okay? Or general beliefs on an opinion. Okay? It's insane. All right? I mean, a good example would be like pro-choice, pro-life. That originally was a matter of moral philosophy and religious belief, as well as some scientific analyzation as well. But now it's become this huge left-right thing. Pro-choice, you're left. Pro-life, you're right. Whatever. It's just, I don't get it. Why did that have to be politicized? Okay. Well, you might say, well, you know, more conservatives tend to be Christian, and a lot of Christians were pushing the pro-life message. And so, you know, because of that, it got inherently tied to conservative values because the conservativeness and Christianity kind of go hand in hand. I'm like, okay, but shouldn't the science folks also be pro-life? Because a fetus can feel stimuli as early as like 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the development and depending on the woman and the child. It can react and feel stimuli as early as that. And that's pretty early. You know, that's a month. A month in, and it's reacting to shit. And so if so the science people would be, you know, pushing it. You know, up to a certain point, it's okay because it is cells, but after a certain point, it's actively feeling stuff, and it would be wrong to harm something that can feel, right? even if theoretically it doesn't have consciousness or anything, it's a complex thing. I don't really like to talk about that subject that much, mainly because it doesn't affect me, being a male. Although you could argue that it does, because I would be the father of the child and I would want to have a say in the child's life, which I inherently would. It's half me. I want a say, at least. I mean, you have that issue a lot in regards to, say, fathers that don't feel that they are responsible enough or financially stable enough to have a child, but women going through with it anyways. That seems like, a decision made against the father, even though it should be reasonably half of his decision. It should be taken into account by a significant margin, because the child is half his. Biologically and legally, it's half his. So he should have a say, to some degree, in whether or not he wants to be a part of that child's life. If he felt that he wasn't ready to have a child and he didn't find himself responsible enough or financially stable enough or whatever the case may be, then he should be totally allowed to leave that child, provided the child still gets adequate care. Okay, I don't want a child to go and deal with a single mother home or a single parent home at all. We've seen various statistics come out from multiple sources that single mother households are not good for a child. They tend to make criminals. They tend to lead to teen pregnancy. It's kind of strange, really. You'd think, a loving influence such as a mother would, lend to a child being very, upstanding, but it seems to be quite contrary. Now, this might be due to other factors, such as the fact that the majority of single parent situations are also poverty-based, or are going to live in a lower income sort of situation, and that can also affect a child's development and upbringing. So I can understand to that degree. We really went off the rails here. I was talking about COVID restrictions a couple of minutes ago, and now I'm talking about parental influence. But that's the nature of these videos. They're unscripted and don't really have a point. I've been going for over 20 minutes now. I think that's a reasonable video. I think most people probably click off by now because they've gone insane. So yeah, I guess thanks for watching. I don't really care too much. I don't really expect views on these. Yeah, see you next rant.